You can say, and you could be right, that there are people that have fiduciary concerns on all the trustees are taxpayers and they don't like paying taxes either and so forth. Ultimately, they're there on the board of the library to promote the library's growth, the library's health, and all that kind of stuff. So it's not this, it can't.
On behalf of the county.
All I'm saying is it's not equivalent that the trustees are the fiduciaries in the same way that the supervisors are fiduciaries. That's it. We're elected by the taxpayer. That's all. That's sort of the last point I have on that.
I would say this, we do have public meetings. Everything's foilable, but if somebody has a problem and they can't reach one of us, they can speak at our meetings. They are open to public, they are announced, and the notes are available as well. So it's not like they talk to us and then they have to go to the Board of Supervisors. They have other actions that they can take along the way. So we don't spell it out because we never had that issue, but the public is involved if they choose to be. The meetings are open to everybody to come in.
Yeah, I understand.
But correct me if I'm wrong, it's only up to 3 people that can speak.
Yeah, usually if we've got an issue with a lot of people.
Then you waive that requirement? Because I believe it's only 3 people, and then that's it. And then I think it's 3 minutes. I don't know what the time was.
But we can schedule them as a special item probably on our agenda.
Mm-hmm.
So if they specifically want to speak on a specific topic, because the public is generally like people we didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
If we know to expect somebody, and we have a large number of people that we know are coming in, we can make an agenda item
waive
for
that requirement.
Yeah.
So this public-private partnership that has been described, could I look at that as Warren County awarding a grant to Samuels Inc.?
We are a private entity, but we're charitable.
Okay, so
I'm not understanding the exact nature of the question, because
Well,
grants
it's-
means something else.
I look at the contributions that the Board of Supervisors appropriate is in terms of a grant. We're contributing to this nonprofit to provide library services to the community.
Well, I think usually anybody awarding a grant doesn't sit on the board making decisions over how that grant can be applied.
Mm-hmm.
You have your conditions,
Mm-hmm.
but we, as a library, we make decisions based on that money. And I would hope that based on the transparency of our reporting and that we're talking to you, that you're confident that your money's going somewhere, that it's being put to good use. If it's not being put to good use, we need to know immediately what is your concern, what's wrong with the money.
And that's why I was asking if we can have a new budget report laying out the expenditures of where the $1,024,000 goes to. Because right now,
I've written it down in my notes.
right now
That's
I
number
look
one.
at the data and I have no clue.
We can clarify that.
But you do bring up a very good point about the grants and, representation on the board. But I just wanted to put that out there for food for thought.
And just to update on our earlier meeting about how many people can speak at a meeting, right now we have a limitation of 5 people
Is
with
it
3
5?
minutes each. So I
3 minutes.
apologize.
Okay.
I wasn't aware of the
Yeah.
information.
I knew that there was some limit of how many people who can speak,
Yeah,
like here at the
that was
Board
a
of
result of the
Supervisors,
overcrowding.
it's unlimited, but we give you, an hour, right? An hour and 3 minutes to speak, so.
So is that first come, first serve, or is that rock, paper, scissors, or what?
I think they sign up or
First come, first
first
served.
come, first served.
Absolutely.
Is there some kind of value that you're expecting from the library that you're just not getting? Is there something, like, are we missing out on something that you expect?
Not
Is there
from,
some kind of
not from my
service?
point of view. When I say something like, is it shielded from, is there something about this relationship that shields it from a competitive process? It's having more performance metrics given to me isn't really going to be meaningful. But if there is a competitive process for procuring this service, then by looking at alternatives A, B, and C, I would, on a scope of work, then that would be competitive. That would be a meaningful comparison. So I don't, I mean, I don't dispute, I don't think there should be, something done in terms of offering meeting rooms or whatever. No, there's not a lacking in that sense that I perceive. The thread of my concerns, I think, is evident, and it's just simply, are we being good fiduciaries? Because if it's costing the county $1 million, it might potentially cost it $700,000, and I don't know, and I want to know.
My understanding is that we've already gone through those process, and I wouldn't mind going through it again to verify that this is the best option for the county. But, that takes research and time and money to do. I think one of the things is we would make changes that we thought were what you wanted, and the problem still happened. So it's not necessarily give me the money, it's more like we felt we were bending to your will and still not getting anywhere or communication. So it's like we want to satisfy your concerns, but we don't know what they are. And that's the biggest problem, I think, that we faced, and we all felt it, all the staff felt it, and it was not a good time to be working in the library at that time, because you could cut the air with a butter knife. It was so thick. So, yeah, we are open to whatever you guys need. We're serving you, we're serving the community.
I think Mrs. Hotek just said that she won't discuss this, and you won't discuss this, but you just said you were bending to the will
Yes.
of the board, but they offered you an MOA that had some significant changes, particularly in terms of representation, taxpayer representation on your board. The request was for 7, then 5, and in all cases was no. So that's kind of, it's an invitation. Were you bending to the will? Were you giving an inch? That's a question.
I was
Yeah.
talking about the library changes of where books were located. The other thing is, there are laws that I cannot bend to where the library is constrained. We can only go so far.
Oh, referring to the MOA that the county offered with the increased representation.
Yeah.
That's what I was referring to.
Yeah,
That's-
I cannot go into that, but there
Well,
were legitimate concerns, and I can't say what they are.
Yeah.
But there were concerns.
Okay.
I would invite you to tell us what your concerns were.
Well, I wasn't on the board at the time, but I supported their attempt to gain representation on the Samuels board, even though I recognized even if your board of your nonprofit accepted 5 publicly appointed, publicly elected representative appointed members, it would still not be a majority. You know,
Right.
It
but
was.
there
It wouldn't
are-
have had that.
there
It
are
would have.
tax consequences of being a
Yeah.
charity when the
And
government's
in that respect, I didn't support their attempt, because I don't think a publicly appointed representative should be on a private board.
I will say that we dug into the MOAs. We took them very seriously, considered all the ramifications and the legal points. But I cannot say specifically what we decided and what went on. But please be aware, we did consider them. We didn't outright reject them. We did look and consider what could possibly change to make this right. So, that's all I can
Thank
say
you.
there.
I appreciate your candor.
Of the operational costs, what expenditures are being that are being taken from that $1 million? Okay, so I already quoted that was like 700 for 23. It was salaries was $700,000, and there was a delta of $319,000 left. So what other operational expenses occurred?
So you
So
just
anyway.
want to see like lights, staff, maintenance, or do you need it drilled down, or?
Well, you know, I mean, I look at and we can talk offline about it. It doesn't have to be down to line item, you know, I mean, granted, you have QuickBooks, so you already have the detail.
Yeah.